I'm recording,
No
but not podcasting. No way. I don't feel I'm ready.
podcast.
It is Sunday, July 21st, 2024, and getting together again for D&D. This is the Yawing Portal campaign, second interlude, Trials and Tribulations, and I think it's episode 6. I'm just going to go back and verify that in a second here, which I should have already done. But last episode was not recorded, so that's what happened there. I had like, oh, these Get the Yankee are going to be tough, and I don't even know if they landed a single bit of damage or not. If so, it was very minimal. They got pwned really hard, really fast by the group in the ethereal plane, and then you came back. That's pretty much it, right? You got out. You learned all each other's pasts and secrets, and then you're like, you know what? Everybody has a past, brothers and sisters. We're all pretty chill with each other. I think that was the consensus.
Mm-hmm.
No one had any real beef with each other, I don't think. I don't think that stuck out.
I mean,
No.
Flint's beef did not change. It's just didn't change. It's like I'm still scared to death of this one person, and the rest of you are eh.
Oh, come on, let's hug it out.
That's the problem. You see? I don't trust you with that either. I know if I point you at bad guy, you'll kill them. So you go that way.
When did that
Crossbow to your back. Go
When
on.
did that fear start?
Only
Then
when I
she
looked
tried to kill me?
Yeah. Oh yeah, was it the
Killed
berserker
me with a
rage?
single strike.
Yeah, that's right.
The axe.
Almost one-shotted me with an axe.
Mm-hmm. The axe.
Blindsided me, I should say.
And just one time, I almost kill you, and you just hold it against me for the rest of my life.
Look, I'm going through my emo phase right now.
All right. Oh.
Everyone
just
else is
thought it
just
was
trying to
a-
hold me back, but you actually tried to kill me, okay?
Tried.
means a
That's
lot.
the keyword. Tried.
You only failed because I'm too good. It's really bad.
You got
I'm
shit.
not
Thought it
that
was a
good.
mosquito.
Sound
Yeah.
off again. Go at it again. Give it a try. Don't let up. Well, you know what? Flinty is getting some more warlocky powers, so he's trying to even up the odds here a little bit for the next time you guys battle. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe we'll see a repeat. This is
No.
episode 5 of this thing. Just for correction, I looked it up. Yeah. Tahana, I want to see how you mess Flint up. I mean, the bad guys up. The bad guys.
Someone's getting polymorphed real fast.
So, last session was not recorded because I didn't have room because I'm not smart. So, but they basically laid it into the Get the Yankee and got out of there. I think you guys got a silver greatsword +1 or something and some armor.
Yeah, we got armor, greatsword, and I stole the robe.
That's right, the Get the Yankee monk robe.
Yep, and then got a dagger too.
Oh, the dagger. That's right. Yep. Did you put the robe on?
Hell yeah!
That's right.
She looks like she come out of a thrift store at this point. Fake jewels, maybe. Real jewels, you know for sure. You got other things hanging off, like 2 or 3 different weapons sticking out of her back. 2 other people's clothes on top. Just layered up.
Interesting.
Can't quite close them because there's so much other stuff on there.
I got bangles for days, guys.
And all of them got a story. Is she crazy old cat lady?
And I have
Literally.
some cat.
Yeah, stuffed cat.
I was gonna say, does she still have the stuffed cat? That's just completing the look.
I think she has 2. I think. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't know if I took 2, but if I did, one's in my backpack.
So great.
You're gonna have to list it out at some point everything that you got so we can see it and then kind of visualize it on hanging off your person.
Yeah, I don't even think I've recorded all of it.
Well, don't forget the diadem crown. She's
Yeah, I
got
have
that
a
as
diadem,
well.
I have a couple necklaces. I
Mhm.
have
Any bracelets?
the 2 stuffed cats. I think I have some bracelets. I have some rings. Most of it was off the dead bodies that I
Mhm.
Pilfered.
that I rifled through.
You also have, this wicked-looking battle axe hanging on your hip now, right? That's technically.
And that's in the backpack.
Oh, it is it? Okay, all right.
It is.
It doesn't like it there, by the way. It does not like it there. It likes to be at your hip.
Yeah, I don't care.
Sometimes,
whine.
sometimes every once in a while you find it in your hip and you're like, how did it get there? And you put it in the backpack again. And you usually always wake up in the morning with it, in between your hands, resting on it like a pillow.
That's uncomfortable.
No,
That
no,
sounds really uncomfortable.
no. It's
It
just
loves.
there's too much. You have too much anger to be uncomfortable. It's just fine. You sleep well. Feel like raging. All right, so I will I think I'm gonna retcon a little bit because I was tired at the end of last night or the last time we played. You came out and you met this red and silver shiny knight standing there.
Straight up just tells us he's tired of us. That's not
Mhm.
nice.
Well, I'm gonna back up and say so when you beat the Githyanki, the silver cord thing, you went to that swirling silver pool, and it brought you back, and you came out of the leftmost mirror where you entered. Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that one was now faded, and now the one up top to the north is the one that's glowing. There's this lady knight that is here, and then the other one is not glowing over there. And I had everything. So you come out, or actually, no, I'm sorry, you don't come back out the mirror. You came out the original mirror thing at the bottom where you came out the first time. So you went in here to the left, and then you came back out at the bottom.
Mm.
It's like Scooby-Doo.
Yep.
Go in one door, come out the other.
Yeah. Anywho, yeah. So you step out. You kind of try not to fall on your feet or on your face as you come out. That's when everybody was looking at each other like, all right, these are our paths. There is an object on a pedestal at the very center of the room that has very many layers of magic over it. You can't quite see what it is, but one of those layers is now dissipated. What's that?
I said it was a spicy thing. It hurts to touch.
Yeah, like you almost did. You really want to, but you do notice, Tiana, that the magical essence surrounding it is like one barrier less.
Mm.
So, and then this red knight stands before you, and I put her picture out before. The script is written in
It's a
Dwarven.
lady.
So that's where we'll pick up. She's taking interest in you. She hasn't said anything since last time, but you guys come through, and we had started a conversation, but I'm retconning it back a little bit just to kind of redo it as I had time to put my thoughts on paper. What do you guys do?
You stop making stuff up.
Have we talked to her yet?
No.
Okay.
She,
No, I kind of did. I said I wanted her armor, and she said I had
Oh.
to follow the patron.
oh, that's right. You know what? Let's bring that back into the conversation. Okay. Okay. So you've made an introduction. She said she was. I'll kind of ease into it. You're just like, nice armor. She said, become a patron, and I shall get you a set. You're just like,
Yeah, I said that my patron wouldn't like that.
She's like, I would help you release from your patron, and you would follow the Red Knight.
How do we become a patron?
Oh, you mean like a worship or? Is that right?
Yeah, is there anything we have to do, or just?
Oh, do you all wish to become patrons of the Red Knight? She says, almost. You can't quite hear it. It sounds like a chuckle. She goes, the Lady of Strategy, the Grand Master of the Lance Board, the Crimson General, the Red Lady, and her voice, who is myself. She is a goddess of strategy, war, and law. She goes, I don't particularly see that in this group, especially for the one who inquired. She goes, but if you wish to become a worshiper of Red Knight, yes, you could earn this very fine armor, like I'm wearing now. So she looks at Tiana, like, you guys are spread out a little bit, and you can see where she's looking, just kind of waiting for a response.
Maybe later.
Sorry. She's like, very well. She goes, let's see. So you asked about that. That was a good question. She goes, I am the voice of the Red Knight. Her Lord Commander, Clarita Bainsworth. So Sorry, I'm poking through my notes as I'm breaking up my conversation here.
Give me a moment.
Give me a moment.
GM's like, I am the.
Hold on a second.
Oh no! Erase it. No.
Well, she says her name.
No more questions.
Someone or everybody.
There will be no questions in this seminar.
Actually, I would love some questions. That would
Get in the door.
That would get the ball rolling very well. She says her name is the Lord Commander Clarita Bainsworth, or Lady Commander Clarita Bainsworth. So everybody can make an intelligence roll for Flint and Ilenia.
Oh, can we?
Yeah, if you would. Flint gets to make it with advantage. So would Ilenia.
Doesn't help. Oh, it does help. Never mind. I rolled really well. I was expecting a dump on that one.
Tavaga's no help.
Come on, Tavaga. All right, so Flint rolls a 22. Okay. I would say that Adam, or Morgan, because you guys were all read through the journal in that meeting with Zorm and Yax and whatever, the whole Dwarven journal, and it mentioned the whole battle, and there was lots of names, but the name Clarita Bainsworth was mentioned in there. She was a captain of the Red Knights. She was one of the ones that helped the dwarves bury the heart in the first place. It was a big part of the battle at that time. That was over a millennia ago, right? So you remember that name from the reading. Flint, on the other hand, and Ilenia, I would say she would probably get this too with her intelligence. You remember the name Commander Bainsworth from Blazendale, which was the little town where the stone tooth was and the black dragon beneath. That was the little town that you went back to. There, when you guys returned after the whole dungeon was done, Vort was still a player, and he played Barnaby, which was a Minotaur cleric of the Red Knight.
That's where he left.
Yeah, and that's where he left. So there was a big command of troops, Red Knights, that had just camped outside this town when they got back. They weren't there before. And they came up and said, Captain Bainsworth wishes you to come and... I'm sorry, Commander Bainsworth wishes you to come and speak. And that's when he left the party. He's like, I am needed elsewhere. They wish to recruit me back into the fold. And I've done my trials, and I have to go where they tell me to go. Now, that's what happened, right? So the name Commander Bainsworth was mentioned there. And now, come back to current. This lady says she is the Lord or Lady Commander, and also the voice of the goddess herself. So that's where you're left for the information you've given. And you guys can move or spread out if you want, or you don't have to. She's just kind of sitting there. You know, you don't really want to walk right through the dead center of the room because you might get nuked or something by magic. You don't quite know. Tihana wants to know really bad. I think Tavaga's also kind of curious.
She can't not touch it.
She almost did.
I think all the Flint.
She almost.
I think the only thing Flint will ask her is if she is going to present a fourth obstacle to retrieving the heart.
A fourth obstacle?
He nods. He comes closer. It's like we just... It's hard to call that a pass or fail situation. It's either you kill each other or you don't, or get killed by something else out there. It's not really a fair test if you're going to expose all our secrets to each other in a place infested with other monsters we are not equipped to fight, if we even got to this point. But that's neither here nor there, because I can tell that, as just like I've said for the last however long we've been down there in this dungeon world of yours, well, your ladies, whoever designed it was an idiot. It's all backwards.
Oh, that's
it's all... You don't poison with an easy, slow poison that you can detect. That's just silly. That just gives people a chance to figure out how to get around it. You do it fast or you don't do it at all. Then you come here, you show us all these things. There's Gith Yankee on the astral mental planes, and we all know they're there. Everyone knows the Gith are out there. They're just the boogeymen, because normally there's no portal to it in the middle of a town. In this case, a dungeon, which is, quibbly. But You know what? I don't even want to finish this start. I just don't. I started a thought and I don't want to finish it. Madam, are you the 4th test, and can we take it now, or do we have to wait until all other 3 tests are done? Because I count 1, 2, 3 portals and 1 back out.
She goes,
If that's even an option at this point.
She goes, "You are a wise man, Master Air Grace." The 4th test, yes, I would say I am a part of that. We'll save that for the end.
You are a poor judge of character if you think I'm a sir. But anyway,
She steps forward now, I think, and she takes her helmet off. She has a very large tower shield that she carries. It's kind of it's not full tower shield, but it's very lengthy, and a great sword. And she straps on.
he's definitely digging the warrior woman. Naturally, just kind of hotter because she's like a badass, thing.
Yeah.
But right now, he's still in that. I've had a bad week. It's not over. It's only day 2. He just pre-filled all days bad out of a 7-day week. It was like this was scheduled by Zorm to just let you know this whole 7 days is going to be rough. Just go ahead and just lube up. It's coming. And now he's on day 2 of it, and it's been nearly dead twice. It's the 2nd day.
Oh my goodness.
That's his vibe right now. He's like, okay.
I think, and you should get that out. And she's like, she takes off her helmet, and you see her, and she is beautiful. But I think the calm. This is like the level 2 upgrade, and the full rest and all the benefits. I think this is the kind of the moment for that. And she takes off her helmet, and as you see her, and you're looking upon maybe a goddess, or at least the voice of a goddess, an avatar, no less, right? And that calm and peace maybe starts to wash over you a little bit. The refreshment, the power. She goes, "I understand." But she says with kind of a smile, she has very long dark hair and very green eyes. Very handsome woman. Beautiful. Depending how if you like her tough armor, full plate type, like she's a babe in armor, but not the fantasy armor that doesn't actually cover much and does more. She has the full plate head to toe.
Battle bikinis.
Yeah,
She has real
yeah,
armor.
she has real armor. There's
Oh,
no chinks in the armor too. It's
classy.
she's solid. If you guys want to try to fight her, you can. I'm just saying, the stats.
Flint's not trying to fight her. Flint's just going to ask you, because he is assuming this is not a straight up, if it's logical, it's not happening. And it's logical, the fighter person is going to show up to fight you. And that's just not what this dungeon's been about in any form.
She sees
We'll teach each other our secrets so we can bond better. But now we all have dirt on each other, and some of us are naturally chaotic. And he kind of thinks that, but he's looking at the corner of his eye. He has kept her in the corner of his eye at all times.
If you can't trust each other, you'll never succeed. It's as simple as that. Heroes
Oh,
rise
he
above
trusts
it.
her. She's going to cause chaos every chance she gets. Just the problem was this time I was in the range of her weapon.
Oh, Master
She has a
Agnes.
man for that. That's supposed to survive those things. He can tank that hit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with my quarter and play my violin unless we're going through that portal right now.
Okay.
Say we do the portal.
As you're walking away, she goes, "I didn't design that dungeon you were in." She kind of, sorry, I was laughing, but she kind of has a laugh in her voice. She goes, "That was old and decrepit and backwards when we just decided to build this place there." But you're right. It's not strategically set up to defend. But
Yeah, I give you bonus points for using something like that because it would have confused anyone without our level of skill of why we're even bothering and not just dig our way out the other way.
so you go. So
I
you
didn't
go-
even think of that at the time. Is there must be a good spell that makes you not even think maybe I could just dig out.
You have to turn
We have
Morrowind into the
burrowing
proper.
creatures. You never mind.
Morrowind needs to become a giant-sized mole or groundhog and just
There you go.
any type of tunneling
We'll just
varmint.
follow him.
I can
Follow
become a
him.
badger.
Badger, but a large badger, so everybody can follow you. Once a cave-in happens, then they're all just buried, and you just dig your
I'm
way
saying this
out.
because I've had a party actually in the old days mentioned this. It's like, why don't we just tunnel out of here? And someone was like, well, all this stuff's got to happen. And they named like 5 spells that was like, this thing is 3.5. But they named like 5 spells that would make it possible where they could just literally just bloop, back out. Just F this and went bloop.
Yep. It is
Oh, I did it
possible.
once in an ice cave. They had set up a very nice ice cave. Really nice. Super cool dungeon. They said it was made of ice. I had a fire sword. They locked the door in front of me, and I said, "Is the cave made of ice?" And they, yes. I go around. Go around the door.
Go over.
Anyway,
Right, while
sorry.
you were talking, I walked up to her and kind of like tapping at her armor. Is the next mirror what we're supposed to be going into?
Yes. Do you wish to know more about anything?
Nope. Let's go.
Let's just do it.
Okay. Well,
Right.
I'll remind you guys as players, even though you've already had them translated, as you guys just all walk towards it. So, if Tiana goes, Hallett follows, right? Morwen's kind of like, yep. And Ilenia's like, I guess. Remember. So I'll come for my Ilenia, because the first one was vulnerability and secrets. He goes, this one above the door, and Tiana's of course already like gone through, but he's like, it's acceptance and
Yeah, alright.
confrontation. We have to be wary of. And people are walking through. He's like, oh, all right. And he walks ahead.
We're already right on the line of murder, hobo, and talking. We have like the
Yeah,
best of
I
both.
think
We're good.
our whole journey is confrontation, so I think we got this one down.
I'm gonna have to compensate how long my hair can be and dark I can make it without any dye. And right now it's brown, and my soul feels like it should be black. So we're just going to ignore that and walk on through this. Boop. He's still talking. He's not even talking to you guys at that point. He's still trying to figure himself back out because he's still freaking out a little bit in his head.
Well,
You've forgotten. If you start talking for any length of time, I'm gonna go somewhere.
Yeah.
so you went to the corner and started playing your violin, right? And then they got done talking. Everybody else is
Earlier,
walking
yeah.
into the port, into the.
As soon as they start walking
the
in,
well.
he waits for her to go first. So he lets Tiana go first. She is now the canary in his mind.
Yep. Sorry, we don't have Dobby anymore. So.
You
Yeah.
brought it
Wait,
up first.
We'll have to
Gabby,
find
Gabby.
another Dobby.
I won't be setting her up as a goddess to no one else. She's dangerous to me.
Oh man, I love.
Dangerous to myself.
I love
Get
this.
in line.
I love this in-party rawness. I love it. You guys made it all yourself, which is great. Okay, Flint, they've all gone through. Or Ilenia.
Yeah, I went through too.
Ilenia is the last to look at you, make sure you're coming, and then. So you noticed when
Yeah,
you
he
sat
goes.
down to play your violin, for the first time, like it usually is calling to you, and right now in here it doesn't, and so you actually chose that willingly, but the harmony to it seems very muted. Like it's not the same as the few times you've plucked away at it, right? And so then,
This is a plainer. This is likely a plainer place that whatever is affecting it is not able to touch.
is
yeah,
this
makes
the
sense.
point where you would discover actually that little grimoire in the violin case, maybe?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, it would be.
okay, nice.
So.
Just something. Are you
Yeah,
thumbing through as you step through? I mean,
Yeah, he's just he's still talking out loud though. He's just
okay.
we just get this over with, and it's literally as he starts to say, as he says, talks about his hair thing, the blackness. That's when the book just floats out of his hand and just stays in front of him instead of in his hand.
Switch here. Go all the way
This
down.
looks
good.
nicer than the last place.
Don't get excited. He's gonna move us.
Oh, there's a big elk. Oh, wait a minute.
I still have.
It's a white
there's,
dragon.
there's copies of you guys all over these boards. So like we're in the bottom left corner, but there's others.
Yeah, like which one are we at?
Yep.
Which corner are we
We're
supposed to
the,
be
the
at?
bottom left. We're
Okay, there we go. It kept snapping me back and forth. I wasn't sure where it was supposed to be.
and Tavaga would be.
I'll play with this
right
white dragon.
there. Flint's the point man. And
Okay, back in the. Got it.
So, yep, and the Sequarian would not be there because. So basically, this is where, as I told you before, this
You
is
found
where you
this,
will
right?
be your shadow characters for a while, unless I say otherwise, right? You are these new personalities.
Oh.
We're gonna go back in
great.
time and we'll replay a couple scenarios and see how this works. But and it's like this is where all of you were at this time. This is where the first scenario that Tavaga was the last one to join when you were all together. So that's why I kind of lined it up here. But the only thing that's different is, well, there's a lot of things that are different. But Ilenia is not there. Lydia is there instead. So as we learned in his past, you know, they were both one of many clones of the matron, right? And that vampire dude came in, and he's like, I'll take that one that's all messed up. That's Ilenia. And that one right there. Put my vampire blood in her before you finish selling her to me. And she's like, okay, good job. You know, give me lots and lots and lots of money. And that was a done deal. So in this parallel universe, it's Lydia that's been around, not Ilenia. Even though Ilenia is still in existence, she's not been the main character here. I am going to go upstairs and take a restroom break real quick. But before I do, you guys can talk in your little backroom cult meeting spot if you want. That's how your characters might be now. Get used to each other, and I'll be right back. This is my kind of alternate side B timeline. How you guys still ended up lining up together. Just a couple quick bullet points, right? Flint kind of did the same thing that he did in his past, but the necromancer basically was successful and became a lich and trained Flint to become a necromancer himself. Is that kind of along the lines?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Something like that.
And basically like, you know what? The Cult of the Dragon is a very powerful thing. We're gonna dip our toes in that. we're gonna get a lot more power. This is what you're gonna do. You're the point man. We work for a vampire. You're gonna go find some recruits and strike when the time is right. So, go find Archie, by the way. You're looking at getting back at him. So Flint does after some training and finds Archie and the group. Lydia joins up to visit Ilenia back in Blasendale, which is that town where the Red Knights were. So this is before most of you guys were in there. And the group returns. Sarek and the elf girl, that was Nathan and Moira's last character. Sarek and Moira, they leave. But Lydia, if Frost was here, falls in when she finds who Flint is. Flint is kind of like the guy's like, I know all the people that are supposed to join me, and I kind of go flash my secret badge at them and, you know, recruit them. Morrowind is sent out by Theola into Blasendale to hitch a ride to Waterdeep. Actually, let me ask you a question, Morrowind, because I didn't really talk about your past.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really. I don't know if we verified. Was Theola a member of the cult, and she's like trained you up?
So, yeah. So in the original Morrowind story, Theola kind of came and saved him.
Yes.
But
the
in
original
this
story,
case,
right? Yep.
yep. So in this case, she never showed up. And so
that's right.
Morrowind was just kind of dying after being beaten up and robbed, and so then he called on anybody to help, and then a evil deity showed up and
That's
helped
right.
him, but he had to worship that deity, so kind of left down a darker path.
Okay. You're just so you know, you're echoing on my end. I'm not sure if anybody else hears it.
But
If
Yeah,
I
look.
can.
I remember that now, and so did you have a specific deity that you had picked? Because I don't remember seeing that.
I did not.
I mean, if you needed something, Tiamat is very is a very open,
We could,
you know,
yeah, we could go with Tiamat.
the evil dragon goddess, right? I mean, she would love one of her greatest red dragons to come back to life, I think. Or would she? I don't know. Either way. I mean, that's up to you. This is our little short character for those who are wondering.
No, I think that sounds good.
All right. For those that are wondering, anybody's watching, what we're doing here in this little test is I asked everybody to make an evil or a shadow character, not necessarily evil, but if you would have joined the cult of the dragon, how would you be in this version? And that's what everybody's doing here. All
maybe
right.
not evil. Evil's a strong word.
So Tiamat, we'll say, if we're good with that, so not by Theola, but sent by Tiamat to hitch a ride in Waterdeep, find the point man, Flint. Hal and Tiana are already paired together, or are they? Actually, I assume that because I didn't talk to both of you. I think maybe they might not be in this version. Hala just...
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, they probably wouldn't be, considering she wouldn't have gone to the same, like, what happened for them to meet.
Did she go into the Shadow Realm and learn the kind of magic she did?
Yeah. She went to the Shadow Realm, but instead of, like, being wary of the Raven Queen or whatever, she, like, fully embraced it and, like, wanted to know more about death and...
Running with the devil.
What?
Like her parents were killed or whatever, so she wants to get revenge and all that stuff.
All right. Well, let me ask you, because you're not a warlock, right? I forgot.
No.
Okay, so yeah, you might have liked the Shadow Queen at first, but she hates undead though, right? She appalls it. So eventually, you would have you would have come to odds with her, right? Or at least her style.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you got out of the Shadow Realm. And
that's probably why I got out of the Shadow Realm.
Okay. All right. So I actually make it clear with you. How would you have fallen in with the Cult of the Dragon? That's the only piece of the puzzle we need. It doesn't have to be a major thing.
I want more power to get revenge.
The Cult of the Dragon offers that for you. Just come this way. Or something. Right? Was I speaking out loud again? How did you hear me say that, you creepy little man? All right. So these, forces that are working together to obviously bring this dragon back. He was an ancient red worm, and then at some point he got his heart damaged. So he went into the abyss, which is where the demons live, right? The devils are in the nine hells, and they're the lawful side, and the demons are the chaos side and live in the abyss, right? He went into the abyss, and he found a demon, and he attached that demon to his heart and basically made his heart a demon heart. And then he came back out of the Shadow Realm and was like, ha ha ha, I'm more powerful than other. Demons and dragons take over the world. So, this guy is a pretty good force to, reckon with if he gets to come back to life. So yeah, Hala does his own thing. He comes hailed from a blue dragon of sorts. So you guys just come into Blasendale at the same time. Everybody kind of silently acknowledges each other as they realize who they are. And they get on that airship that's going of Zorm's Armando's that's going back to Waterdeep. And the last one to get met up is Tavaga, but you don't get to meet her until the moment of, right? So maybe we'll say there's... I would like to work the story where you guys had time to chat a second, but I don't know if it's realistic. I guess your group would arrive first in this meeting hall. The three heads are meeting with this information about where the dragon's heart is. And you guys have been the adventuring good group at this point, or at least some have, but they've been slowly replaced. You kind of just fall in board with it. But there's Lady Adorna Valdecombe, who is definitely an old vampire. She has a butler and a large dire wolf that follows her everywhere. Zorm's Armando, who is doing this expenditure, and then Yax Hawklight of the Hawklights, a lawful good paladin. These three families are the heads of making sure this doesn't happen. Well, there are two half-orc bodyguards of Yax when you get there. One's a guy, one's a girl. And in our normal version, the guy was actually the bad guy. In this version, it's our very lovely Tavaga, who gives the head nod to Flint when you guys have a few moments. Yax is like, go clear the room and make sure before I get there. And Lady Dorna hasn't arrived.
Actually,
what's that?
She didn't even have to nod. Flint has telepathic.
Oh, snap. Okay.
He took that as a level feat, so that way I could keep the whole fact that I've gained telepathy somehow as a thing that my character just still gets to do. But he just goes, all is good, into her mind in his voice.
All right.
Mm.
The purpose here was the diary was already so Ilenia has not come forward. She went another way, so Lydia hitched a ride and Ilenia stayed in Blasendale. But Ilenia and maybe Flint at that point deciphered the Dwarven script journal. You know what's going on. This is the meeting where everybody's supposed to talk about it, but the information was sent ahead from the airship, so everybody already knows. It's just talk what to do about it. Your objective, Flint, and that you've probably hopefully debriefed everybody. Maybe you can to telepathy is there's going to be a huge attack tonight right after this meeting. you're to make sure that these 3 main heads, since they're gathered in the same spot at the same time, do not leave the building. They just need to be dealt with. That'll be a huge blow to their forces, while Waterdeep is getting pounded outside by dragons and demons. Right? So, Lady Valducombe will say has not arrived yet. Zorm's like, go on ahead. Oh, wait. I forgot, guys. I haven't put the hat on in months. Go ahead. I'll be right there. I have to go see my niece about a dog or something. And yeah. And Yak's like, go clear the room, Tavaga. Rakira and I will be there in a moment. So you guys have a half a second to talk. I'll be right back. Tavaga, you're the one that's like, when the time is right, you're the first one to strike. That's the only thing that's been given to you other than Flint kind of has led everybody there, but Tavaga's the one that decides the moment. So, you guys can talk about it, Rosa. I'll be right back.
So, is everyone clear on their part? And my
No.
voice is much deeper than his would be.
Yeah, I have no clue what's going on.
Just
That's okay. All I need you to do is to wreck stuff. If anyone falls, don't let a cleric get to them, and I'll make sure they add to our forces. I'm looking forward. If this works, that hat-wearing, dancing fool will make a great first lieutenant for my dead forces. I'm looking forward to that. Even if I have to just splinge him down to the bones because something is wrong and he's unable to be otherwise raised. Calm. I'm Flint Acrace. I've hated playing for these simpletons for so long. I can't even do a real voice. I have to pretend to be deep because my voice is so squeaky normally. It's just really annoying. Anyway.
nothing like the squeaky evil voice.
It's unexpected when it comes that way.
Well,
You can let this cleric get to him.
as long as their body's intact, I don't care. But if it's not, I can always make another really cool skeleton.
Now, out of character, who all is a necromancer?
Morwen is.
Oh,
Three of us are
necromancers.
necromancers.
And so, and Tavaga can give our army. She has a special aura that will help any undead that uses weapons. Give them a plus.
Like a Dark Knight or a Fallen Paladin or something.
She's she's an Oathbreaker paladin.
Ah, nice.
I like the idea, like, we're all kind of not polymorph, but disguised self right now, like a ring or something we've kept on us. But underneath it, we're all like long, dark, black hair that's in our faces. Just standing around like, we're going to kill them all. It's going to be so cool.
This will be
Pretending to be a
fun.
nice person. And someone tries, the door clicks and we're like, the rings go back on.
See, I'm
That's it.
basically the same. I just shifted a little bit to the side.
Yeah, I thought that Tahana would just have one character. But where's your dark character? Here.
Same.
I'm telling you that.
Take your pick. They're kind of tricky.
I'm telling you, you gotta see Nathan's version of his other Alad. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not gonna spoil it. Anyway, hello, thank you. The last thing I was gonna say is, after taking these guys out, you to escape and head to that island where that dungeon, the crappy dungeon, is. During the dragon demon attack, and during the confusion, make your way to the docks, grab that airship that you came in on, and just like we did in the other one, and fly south. So that's it. It's up to Tavaga. You guys have a moment to look at each other. Whatever information you passed is fine. It's between you. I'll just leave it at that. Just to make sure my screen is showing most everything here. So the first to enter is Zorm. He's like, oh, good. Everyone's here. Nope, they are not here. I'll take my spot right over here. And he walks over here and he's facing like the bookshelf, like looking at the books, or is he? He's not sure. And then
He doesn't know for sure.
next, Hawklight walks in with Rakir, half orc guard there. Nods to Vaga, takes takes a look at the room. He seems satisfied that he's there before anyone else other than Zorm, but Zorm doesn't really count because he's never really there, right? Okay, so Yax takes up position, and Tavaga and Rakir fall in line, and then lastly, who comes in is this little old ancient-looking butler over here, named Butler. He comes crawling in. He's all like just hunched over and slow moving, and he goes into the corner over here. He just he doesn't look at anybody else. He don't care. You know, he's just the cook. No, Steven Seagal. Anyway, sorry.
Right.
And
He's
what
gonna
he does,
slowly hand wave at us, and we just stab ourselves with our own knives.
and he does a thing.
What?
Anyway,
Whole movie.
actually, probably all of you know this because you're all dipped in magic, but he casts darkness in the corner, like right up in here. And after the darkness cast, a few moments later, this large, dire wolf just comes out, trounces. It's big, like it stands, up to your mid chest, a normal average person. He's a big doogie. And then the lady herself walks out of the shadows, and the darkness remains for a few moments. But everybody can make an intelligence roll. Tavaga can do it with advantage. And I would say
Gonna need it.
I say Halid would too. We'll see if it's even.
And these are our dark characters or our regular
Yes, this
characters?
is your
So far.
shadow characters now.
Shadow characters.
This is the shadow. Okay.
Oh, definitely. Your
All right.
Oathbreaker. You Tavaga can't believe that it's worked so well, being here months under the guise of a paladin of Tyr, when really you're just like, no, I do my thing. Oh yeah, we didn't really go over you, did we? It was, I think
No.
Adam sent it to me real quick. If I may say it out loud, or you can.
I said it out loud.
Trying to remember exactly.
You were brainwashed during a battle against
Right.
Pam's clan.
Yes. So there still was the brainwashing. The only difference is I saw some of my family members in a battle, and that started kind of undoing the brainwashing and changed her allegiance slightly.
Okay. Well, something or someone came and said, you can have this power of an Oathbreaker Paladin and continue and do something worthy, or you can try to, because you kind of basically cast off your in some dark corner somewhere, right? Maybe, and said, nope, I'm not doing this. And you would technically, if you change alignments, which I would say this kind of shifted here, right? And you're not lawful good anymore or whatever, you're gonna lose the benefits of being a paladin. But in this case, if you choose to embrace this other kind of dark angle, well, you get those powers back and some more, just in another light or darkness, right? So he's like, yeah, all right. Well, the Cult of the Dragon has a lot to offer for someone in your line of work, dear Oathbreaker. All right, so we got that covered there. Did everybody make the rolls? Okay. Ooh. Flint, did you get a 22 right there?
I did.
You did. And,
+5 intelligence.
And Morrowind. And I'm just
He
going
had
to
self-study he had to do before.
The regular Halid sheet. I don't think it's gonna be built much different at all.
But better.
Nah. I'll say Tiana too. So just from that roll, like the butler, she comes out and she's like, she pets the dog and she nods to the butler. She's like, "Thank you, Lucas." And she comes to her full, beautiful grace and stands in front. But those who made the intelligence check know that butler, he's holding that darkness open. And that's an easy, quick escape. There's still semi-daylight out. She's not really able to go much else other than back into her dark corner. But she can, quickly, at the sign of danger. Because vampires are really good at turning into mist and throwing all kinds of tricks out there. So, butler, he's the transportation. Take that as you will.
All right. And which one's the butler?
This guy
Bottom
over
one.
by the chair.
Can you guys see the name plates
Oh,
on
okay.
all the characters?
The blue guy. Okay, I see him.
The blue guy.
No, I don't see the names. I see the.
Just the token. I see Zorm's name.
But he's the blue
That's
one,
because
okay.
we can move Zorm.
And he's holding that open.
Okay. Yep. So, basically what happened in alternate timeline is Flint brought the diary forth, put it right here, and they used a projection magic or something up on the wall here. Maybe the curtains are drawn, and they basically, put the diary up for everybody to read, and everybody read through it together and said, okay, we gotta go Chult. In this version, they already knew that coming. It's just really here's the diary. Let's do a quick recap of what it says and decide what to do. So, Lady Adorna, very beautiful, very young. Yax Hockley immediately are at odds with each other. Start to banter. Zorm's kind of like, well, listen to what Flint has. And he's just getting talked over. As Lady Adorna's like, you big lumbering ox. And Ox is like, oh, wench. And they're just throwing these words at each other. Like they have a personal vendetta against each other. Kind of like before. I'm just not going to role play it all out here. All you know is, I guess everybody would know this, there is a vampire named Gothias who is kind of heading all your operation up. So everything you're doing is to eventually put the heart of the dragon in his hands. So this is the first step. Take these guys out so that they're weak, escape in the chaos, and go get the item. So you guys can position yourself wherever you think you would be as this conversation happened. Like there's this big table. Lady Adorna would probably come up. Her big old dog, Meathead is his name, standing right next to her. Zorm kind of bumbling over here. Yax probably comes up opposite with his entourage right behind him, like about there. I feel like Lydia's someone that would probably step back in the corner and kind of just wait. Where's Halid? Halid would probably... Oh, him and Tiana are not attached at the hip, right? He knows that killing needs to be done. I feel like he would be more to the right to go after the big brute in steel armor. I think that's what Halid might do. He might go after the vampire. I'm not sure what Nathan would decide here. But more, and if you want to switch with him or not, if you guys are happy, is that good?
I think I'm good.
Yeah? Okay. So, they go on. Basically, Flint, do you put the diary on the table? Or are you guys...
He does not put the real diary on the table.
Okay. So, back in time, just like before, the same thing happened this timeline. You and Ilenia both knowing Dwarvish script, assuming you know it in this one.
He has edited it to mention the vampires are naturally wanting the heart. He's trying to sow discord.
Wait, say that again.
He has edited the diary to mention vampires. So when it projects it, it talks about people like Adorna wanting the heart for themselves.
Well, okay.
And making agreements to do that.
Vampires actually are mentioned in there, not her specifically, but the Gothias was mentioned because they were on the good guys' side and they betrayed the good guys, revealing they were vampires. But a little more editing, a little more pushing with the skills that you have, it kind of flares up temper. Maybe you can make a kind of roll to see how well your writing went into effect.
All right.
Let's say... Well,
intelligence check.
Let's see. You are orc charisma in your writing, depending on...
He's not charismatic in his writing. He wrote matter of fact because he's a researcher.
In this version? Okay. Then if you're using cold hard logics and fact to try to, even if they're not all true, but to make it sound very true because it's very professional, then I would say an intelligence check would be, or yeah, it wouldn't be a save, right? So it'd be, yeah, intelligence check would be just fine. And I'll give you advantage because there's already heated tension between the paladin and the lady vampire.
Okay. Well, let me roll again to see if I crit. I do.
You didn't go green.
No, it's a
okay.
dirty 20.
All right, still, nice roll. He's like, I said so. I've seen it. See, you were not to be trusted.
Yep. He's like controlling the table so it switches. Like to him, he knows where he's edited this, so he's literally pulling those up instead of the things that might have contradicted it even a few lines before. He's zooming the table in so it's like focusing hard on these facts that were not facts, but look really bad for the two people across the table from each other.
Okay. That's very nice. Just do this real quick here. Let's do.
This is a good test of whether we're good people is to make us bad guys. I'm going to be a really good bad guy.
Are you now?
I'm
All
going
right,
to be so good.
Let's see who it is. Okay. So yeah, Zorm, Adorna, Rakir, and Yax are the major NPCs here. Basically, the only NPCs other than the big wolf and the butler. So yeah, so Yax actually starts to turn this way and come around the table a little bit, like towards her, and that's when the big wolf steps right in front of her. He's like, his hackles are up, and his ears are back a little bit. This is a huge beast. He doesn't actually have blood all over him. Well, maybe he does, because just like the picture, it would be kind of intimidating. And the Rakir moves with Tavaga. Do you move with Yax, like at his back, like always?
Yes.
Okay. I think even Halid shimmies like kind of back this way a little bit, like he's just kind of eking around the outside just a tad. And Zorm's like, oh, okay, listen. That's just a part. That's just a part of it. He goes, yes, vampires are involved, but so are wizards and paladins. We are here to keep everything kosher between us. I know that's an earth term from another dimension. Oh, never mind that now. Oh, sorry. There's my hat. Where did it go? Anyway, we have to send a group to go retrieve it. So Yax actually calms down. He's like, actually, I have already dispatched a group of heroes. They should be arriving at Choltz soon. So really, we can just disband this meeting now, be on our way, and wait to see what happens when they return, or not. I motion to see this adjourned. So Lady Adorna's like, fine by me. What do you guys do? They're... Flint is sowing discord. Tavaga, you're the one that makes the first move, or when you decide. But you know what? If someone else does, I mean, you guys are a bunch of shadow characters, so I'm just setting the scene to see what you guys do and when you do it. Now, we might do some rule of cool. I know these are brand new characters that are high level, and there's a lot of stuff. I'm not saying we do hours of combat because our time is in about 20 minutes here. I kind of plan for some rule of cool. We'll throw some dice if we have to, but I'm more interested in the narrative of what happens right now, right? Let me actually see who my... All right, let's say, Morwen, why don't you roll a D2, or, a D100. And Tavaga, or Meredith. Get ready to do it again. Meredith before, though. High or low?
Low.
Okay, roll again, Morwen.
Oh.
Low?
She's the Oracle.
So you see the meeting's about to disgroup. Lady Dorna's going to go through that dark corner. She's going to be gone. Yax will start to march out. Zorma, they're about to break up. And just in that moment, as you're like, okay, I got to make the move right now. Mm-hmm. Just in that moment, you snap back to normal Tavaga. side A Tavaga. In mind. In mind and spirit. You still have all the same dark, creepy magics and gear. You're just about to, stab Yax in the back of the head or something.
Right. Right.
But now we are
I
Tavaga
was-
from before.
I see this.
Who's on the same side as Yax for now.
Well, you realize as you kind of like almost wake from a dream, you're like, wait. You're like, wait, what am I doing? But you know what you're doing because you've lived it. And you see your friends around you who are the same except for Lydia's there instead of Millennia. And it's the same thing, but it's different. Everybody looks a little different. Obviously, they have different gear, a different, demeanor. What do you do? Now, while you think about it for a second, Morwyn, Flint, Tiana's stepped away. Halid is like, he's creeping about 10 foot because he's got that long reach, right? So he's just about there. Either that or he's going to take out the side paladin and get him out of the way. What are you thinking, Tavaga? You're just suddenly like, wait a minute, I was just about to stab Yax in the back of the head. Wait.
Totally about to just smite him.
But do you still?
Like, what was I thinking?
Well, now you are now the new Tavaga who has remembered her past in the other timeline. I know, we're going to get crazy here. So she's
Right.
remembered when she was an orc, and then remember she's following this real Yax for a couple years now. So there's that struggle that is fresh in your mind, and now suddenly you're back to that person, not that total hell-bent evil person, for just a few moments here.
Oh.
I know. I'm throwing a lot of emotion here. I'm sorry. What do you do? I feel like you've at least paused. How about everybody else makes perception?
Yeah,
What's that?
I've definitely paused.
Okay.
I was going to definitely going to take a swing at the back of him. And
What kind of weapon do you have as this Tavaga?
that's what I was looking at.
You have. What do you have?
I have, yeah. I have a crossbow. I have a lot more ranged weapons with this round, but I
You
have a shield.
sword.
I do have a sword.
I don't see it on there. Oh, Sword of Life Stealing. Right down under items.
Yes.
I don't know. It doesn't look like it's
However,
equipped
Ed-
up top, though.
No,
How do you?
yeah, I was trying to figure out what I could hit somebody with, but
Hold on. I got you covered here. I'm going to drop it right into your... Did it do it again? Oh, boy. It multiplied them. Oh, you know what I think we have to do? We probably just have to hit the little... Oh, it is equipped. I don't know why it's not showing up there. Okay, well, we'll figure it out here. Just made like a whole bunch of copies. All right. So you have a sword that sucks the life out of things.
yes.
When you attack a creature with this magic weapon and roll a 20 on the attack roll, that target takes an extra 3d6 necrotic, as long as it's not in a construct or undead.
Ah.
So basically,
Okay.
if you roll a crit, you're doing an extra 3d6 necrotic. Okay.
All right.
So you
It
can
should be up in your attack now.
Oh, there it is. I don't know
Um,
what magic you worked.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I see it now.
There's a little button to the side of it to the right. You have to click and add it. It has an attack to it. And so now it's up there.
Okay, I see it now. The
Ooh,
Sword
I
of
rolled
Life
well
Stealing.
with it. Shikes.
Nice.
All right, so you're just about to pull the sword out and slice into the back of his head or something. And now you're like, pause. Everybody else can make a perception check because you're still your shadows. Did you notice if Tavaga started to do something and then it just stopped? Like something's wrong?
What is with my rolls? They're so
I
hot
know.
today.
I'm gonna say 15. I'm gonna say 15 is because you're looking at the whole room. You might not notice. I'm gonna say 15 is your DC, but that was the other three, right? So all of you notice that she hesitates. What do you guys do?
So yeah, he hits her with telepathy, going, "What are you doing?"
I love it.
Hell them.
Myself. Going after Yax?
Say that again, Teresa. What's that?
She hesitates going after Yax?
Yeah, he was just turning. He was coming around the table towards the door now. And I think you missed that. Maybe you missed the whole thing. I'm sorry. what I said was he's starting to walk away. The meeting's almost over. She's the one that's supposed to strike first. So she goes to pull the sword, and I told her she snaps back to original Tivaga in her mind and spirit. So I'm saying
And so she.
That darn conscience thing.
So,
I know.
you don't have to.
so
Have
I
a
think
conscience.
Morwin attacks him. Then
Who do you attack?
I'm attacking who was she was going after.
Yaks.
Yaks. Let's see here.
Well,
It's like if she's not going to do it, I'll do it.
we're still
Yeah,
gonna do some
if we
rules.
kill everyone but the one we're supposed to have a feeling for, maybe we'll just bypass this whole test. We're just cheat mode. Go cheat your test.
Are you doing
And
a
then that's somebody else. I'm sorry.
are you doing a magic here?
Yes. So I'm going to do Told the Dead. But I have a special where if there's anybody within 5 feet, I can do it on 2 people.
Oh no.
So I'm going to do it on both him and the guy right next to him.
Yeah, I chose Reaper too.
Yeah, I chose Reaper.
So with that, all right. So
That's not the right one. This is the right one. I have a saving throw to make, probably,
Okay.
huh?
yeah, so it's a must succeed at a Wisdom saving throw.
That's my
Take
that's my specialty.
2d8 damage.
Oh,
Oh,
plus
Wow.
0. Oh my gosh.
wow.
I'm sorry.
All right.
That paladin aura just kicked up hard.
He's just like, what? He turns like, who did that? Tivaga, you're just like caught for a second. And I'm going to say that you snap back into shadow, Tivaga, as he kind of just turns and looks over at Morin.
Oops, sorry. Okay, so yep.
All right. Then do you have to make a save for the second guy, or is it just one save?
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to roll again because it's a plus
Oh,
0.
that's right. You're attacking 2 people.
He probably doesn't make that
Ah.
guy
Yeah,
probably
does not
doesn't
make
make
it.
it.
All right. So 2d8.
I think Tivaga in this similar universe, you and Recur were friends, right? But it's the other side of the coin. Like before, he was your friend, but he was really a plotter. So in this one, it's you. You know he's not on your side because you would have found out about each other, right? You would have informed, maybe. But
Right.
so you've been fake friending with him, maybe not. And because we're playing a little rule of cool and everything like that. When you told the dead, he's like, what? Everything reverbs. It hits Recur. He flounders backwards, and his head and his chest explode. And just goes everywhere. He falls to the floor 5 feet behind him. He's like, you! He starts to point at Tivaga. Lady Adorna's like, what is going on? And she, being a quick lady vampire, means to back out and escape. I'm not doing any initiative. Everybody can just take a turn to do what they want. I think
Flint wants to cast. No, I didn't. That's part of it. But I was trying to hit this button. Everard's Black Tentacles.
Ooh.
A 20-foot square on the ground that you can see within range, which I want it to be, I think, here, right at the edge of the darkness. Fills a squirming ebony tentacles fill the 20-foot square on a ground that you can see within range. For the duration, those tentacles turn the ground into difficult terrain. When a creature enters the affected terrain for the first time or starts a turn there, the creature must save Dexterity saving throw or take 3d6 damage and be restrained by the tentacles until the spell ends. If it starts its turn in the age it's already restrained, it takes even more damage. So he just throws that up there, and he's like, "No retreat, traitors to the great gods."
Is that the right spot for you, sir?
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay. I think the butler gets manhandled in those tentacles a little bit right there. I'm just like,
He does to save a dexterity saving throw, which was the 17. If he doesn't make it, he makes 12 damage. If he makes it, he's just not restrained. He doesn't take the damage if he succeeds too.
all right, 1 second. I gotta find. Gotta pull out the actual character sheet. There's gonna be an extra token that pops up here. Why you gotta do that? Okay, so get rid of that guy. What was it?
The token that pops up.
Was it a dex save you said?
Dex save of 17.
I don't
So
know.
he takes 12 points of damage.
Well, I didn't do that right. It's his saving throws are dex plus 9.
Ah.
So I did plus 4. So if I did an extra 5, it would be 16. Is that
Still not enough.
okay? What was the damage then?
12 damage, bludgeoning, as he gets just battered by the. But now he is restrained.
He's I should better look up his darkness. Actually, it needs concentration to be maintained or not. I was kind of playing it for a rule of cool. If you
I can
want
look it up for you.
All right.
Take me 5 seconds.
I think Hallett at this point would go after Yax.
It is concentration,
It is concentration. Okay, so I have to make another save.
so it's 10 plus whatever, half the damage or something like that, whatever it was.
Oh my gosh. I
I
just rolled 2 hits and a critical hit for Hallett against Yax. Just bam, bam, bam.
What is? You're gonna rocks yucks.
Oh, that's supposed to
Not good
be.
for him.
It's supposed to be this one for the second one. So I would just roll this twice. So it would be this, this,
It's one spell.
and that twice.
Bam, bam,
I'm
bam.
gonna need a calculator for that. So as I lost my. Okay, so you hit the tentacles, and what's the concentration? Did you see?
I didn't.
It's a saving
it
throw, I
looked
think.
up, hold
Oh,
on.
right. Oh, what is?
It is. But where'd it come from? There's a.
I should be looking it up. I was just trying to look ahead at the attacks here, and not take too long on it. I think you hit him. Well, I'm just gonna say Yax does a lot of, or Yax gets stabbed as Hallett comes forward, as he's turning his left side's exposed, and the foot-long spear at the end of the halberd just pierces into his side, goes right in. I mean, 18, so that's 30 damage, 43 damage. It's like 43 damage. I should just add it up. That's almost half of Yax, so he just gets taken. Tavaga, you can act now if you want to. And also, I
Yeah,
think
she's gonna
Tavaga-
go after Yax.
Okay. You want to take a swing? Okay.
We're gonna try that sword.
10 plus half the damage you took. So he needs to do a 16 con check.
Wisdom?
Constitution.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
Not much damage.
Oh, he
Still makes it.
slams it. Okay. He doesn't lose the spell. I was kind of wanted to. I kind of wanted to be like, no, but we did it. Was that the damage? Tavaga?
Yes.
It looks like it's rolling a straight 4 for whatever reason.
I don't
Yeah,
know
so
why.
it's not set right. It happens on some of these
It's
sheets.
fine. You can fix it if you want, but you still. I'm assuming do you get more than one attack at this point?
I was just looking. I assume she still has. Yeah, she still has 2. Yeah, she still gets 2 attacks.
Okay. This is great though. This is fine because we only have a few minutes left. Tavaga. Gosh. Okay. What did Morwen do? You did Toll of the Dead. You blew Rakir apart, right? Zormando's kind of like just shocked,
Yep.
like stepping back, like what's going on? She's making her escape. Flint Airgrace has done the Black Tentacles, grabbing the Vampire Butler. You see the darkness wavering. He's trying to hold it. He's like, oh, my lady. And Halid stabs Yax in the side. Tavaga drives her sword into his chest. I think at least once deeply because he's like trying to drive. He's like, at two, Tavaga. And then she stabs again. You can roll again if you want, just to see what happens.
Okay.
Like the attack. Don't worry about the damage. Wouldn't be quite.
Oh, sorry.
I think he kind of.
I got the wrong thing on. Sorry.
Oh, the heavy crossbow. I love that. He just stabbed
Hang
him.
on,
Then he pulled
sorry.
out the crossbow
The
one
other
hand.
just
Just
went big. There we go. Oh, I see it. Now it's fixed. Okay, we'll try the sword again.
the,
Well, I'm not sure what type of sword it was because I was trying to fix it for you because I've
Oh,
had this happen to
thank
me.
you
you.
hit both times, so hit that new damage at the bottom and see what happens there.
Okay.
And just
At least
do it
it's
twice.
just rolling a d6 right now. So,
She also should get her strength modifier on there.
well,
Yeah,
if
it looks like it's
it
adding
is.
the strength in there. Yep.
It's just I'm not sure the right damage, and if she's doing a critical strike, it also adds 3d6 necrotic, which is why I was trying to set it up to actually do it. 'cause
Oh.
Well, she didn't roll a natural 20, but that's fine. You know what? The damage doesn't matter because it's the damage that's been done in Yax's heart emotionally that is the real killer here.
He's been betrayed.
the friends that have been
Listen to
betrayed
you,
along
I
the
love
way.
it. Morwen.
His blood sprayed on me and she got bloodlust and she just went for it. It's just how it is.
Yep, you swing again. You clink off his armor, but you keep attacking. What did Tihana do?
Just moved up a little bit, and everybody else was attacking.
You can do more than that. I don't have initiatives, and I'm not going by. I want you to do a cool move of something. Think of something groovy. But at this moment, after Morwen, you cast Toll the Dead. You sit back, and you feel a little bit of the reverb of your own spell as you hear it. That's when Morwen side A comes out. Right after you cast that spell. And suddenly you see Halid stabbing Yax, Tavaga stabbing Yax. Flint is bringing tentacles out, and Tihana is creeping about to do something. Rakir, that other paladin, has been blasted apart, and it just looks. It looks bad. So you remember, like, wait a minute, I just took the first strike at the paladin. So now you see your team is going at it. What are you doing, Tihana? Because I don't want to. Oh, right towards. I should have known.
Yeah, I'll go up towards
Hello, my
Zorm
dear.
and go to like slap him and
She wants his hat.
do nothing.
No, it's fine because he's just like, huh? You slap him in the face. His hat like kind of whoops off his head and does like a little swirl like this, like, "Ah!" And he's just like, "Ah, I'm a dragon though. I'm a gold dragon." His spectacles fly off his face and he stutters back. That big Z pendant that he wears, it's like onyx with a silver lining, standing out, looking so shiny. I'm not sure if Tiana still has those same raven-like aspects where she likes shiny things, but that big necklace is standing out there. As he kind of stumbles back against a piece of furniture, he's like, "What are you doing? What is
I like
everybody
shiny
doing?"
things, but I'll pull off the corpse.
What would you go after? Not worrying about the rules so much. Out of all the cool stuff you have, what would you do to Zorm next? If you pressed your attack on him, he seems unable to get a rebound because he's so stunned by what's happening, and he lost his hat, so he's really, really out of whack right now. Morrowind, what are you doing as you see Tiana attack Zorm? And
So is Zorm still up? So now I'm Morwen again.
Is that what you put, Tiana? Thunderwave?
So
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I love it. Like, I think I know what will happen. Oh. See, it throws him back, right? This is what I want to happen first. So, the Toll of the Dead starts cracking the windows from your spell, Morwen. When she does Thunderwave, it just splits the floor apart and travels to the windows and the bookshelves, like up on this side and over here. The books just get smashed off the shelf, and the glass shatters going everywhere. As it goes everywhere, Zorm is thrown back this way into the window and falls backwards onto all this jagged glass from these huge windows and just goes and this mountain of glass is sticking out of his stomach area. He's like, "Oh."
is he still alive?
Well, his front half is hanging outside. And in light of that, as that window breaks open, suddenly you guys can hear the screams and the thunderous, sounds of dragons flying overhead, and magic being cast, and explosions happening as the Zormando estates have just gone under attack, and everybody's scrambling. But Zorm's legs hang on the inside of the window, and they're kind of kicking feebly, and his blood is just running down the glass, pooling. Yax looks like he's kind of starting to fall backwards, almost to his... He falls backwards onto his knees. His sword drops out of his hand. Or he didn't even draw his sword. He started to. And so he just...
I think that would have actually hit Yax, too.
Oh, I love it. So Tavaga's got her sword in the front of his armor, his chest, like this. And the thunder wave actually pushes him further onto the sword. Right up to the hilt. And that's Tavaga. That's when you snap back to original Tavaga again. At the same moment when that happens.
All right. And so Morwen is still...
Tavaga and Morwen are good versions suddenly, as chaos ensues.
Morwen is going to cast polymorph on himself and turn himself into a T-Rex.
Of course he is. Little arms.
Is that a huge size?
Yep.
Yes, I think so.
We got a T-Rex.
And you can flavor it if you want. You could be a skeleton.
Does it say how big he is? I don't...
He's
yes,
huge.
he is huge.
I love it.
I've never had a character make it to level 8 in normal gameplay promises to get polymorph. That was a wizard or something, and that was always what they were going to be. It's like, even if it sucks mechanically, at least one fight I have to turn into a giant dinosaur.
We gotta try it.
Oh, no.
All right, I gotta find the stats. Okay.
Well, the Tabaxi thing for Lucas, I found a class that was basically I use all the summon spells, and there was dinosaurs on this list, and I'm like, this is a game-breaking thing because I would go from being just one character to being 20. They're all animals. And I'm like, no, I want to be the animal. Make me a big one.
Should be. Do you have control of that thing?
That is me. I just turned into it. It's a spell.
No, I know, but do you have control of the token right now?
Oh, do I have... I do not.
Change some stuff here. Represents character... It used to say... If I did Morwen... Actually, Morwen Shadow.
Oh, let me make sure I have... Yes, I do. I could have a controller right now.
You do?
Yep.
I'll just do that real quick. Okay. Suddenly you just burst out of your skin. Flint, you're just about to make your next move. You see Morwen. You're not a druid anymore, are you?
Well, I was Morwen, the druid, right? But I used... This was actually a spell I used to turn into the T-Rex.
Yeah, I was trying to... actually, I don't know if it makes sense if you would have the dark magic or your original druid magic. I don't think that far.
Well, for this exercise, we are these people. It's just brain swapping in for a second.
You don't have druid magic. You have your dark magic, even though your mind and spirit is Morin. But if you can still use a spell to do that, then that's fine.
Yeah, it's polymorph. Level 4.
What's that?
It's a 4th level spell. I have it.
Okay, that's fine. So you do that. Zorm is like dying on the window pane. Lady Adorna is looking to back around this way. Her dog is in retreat. She's almost gone. Actually, if she had a turn, she'd probably only be turned into mist and going. Tavaga, you're looking at Yax. You just don't know what happened. You've just suddenly switched more. Everything's very confusing maybe right now. But Yax is looking at you with just like crazy anger and betrayal, and blood just coming out of his nose and mouth. He's like, and he just stops, and his eyes are still looking at you, but they're already glazing over. As he dies on your sword.
I think, I think maybe I help lower him to the ground gently as a moment of guilt hits before I pull my sword out and clean the blade and move on.
Halid, and this is like this said, this is original Tavaga, right? Despite how she feels.
Right.
Halid has jumped ahead, and he tries to spear into Lady Adorna to keep her there. Morwen, you turn into a T-Rex, but you were a regular Morwen. What do you do? Because we're gonna call it in just a moment here.
Well, at this point, do I know who's good and bad?
No, probably
Um,
not.
You
Because
can make a perception check.
I might.
How about you both make a perception check to notice each other? It's a little harder in T-Rex form. I think Tavaga's rolling with a disadvantage here.
I got a +4 in perception, so we'll see.
These are
I'll roll a 20, and then just +4 would be the T-Rex.
12, 14.
Didn't I hit disadvantage?
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah.
A 14 is good. You see him do that, and it reminds you, like, well, that's the Morwen I know, even if it's a spell. Like, and the way he looks at you for a moment, you're like, you both kind of stop as the action. Flint, do you move forward towards the vampire, or you stay where you are? Oh yeah, and then sorry,
I was staying where I was because I'm going to cast another spell.
Lydia would have hopped into action. I forgot about her. She kind of stayed back this whole time. I don't know. Let me just see here. I'm not going to use this character. She has basically lots of spells. Chill Touch, Fireball. Oh, she has Fireball.
Yep. And I was going to try to polymorph in the vampire girl into a seahorse.
Okay, well, let me see what level spells he has. He has up to 4th level. Okay, so...
Level 8. Dedicated spellcaster should be at 4th level. Paladins should be at least 3rd level.
This vampire
Bam.
gets...
Wow.
Her and her dog and the butler get roasted for 32 damage. The wolf starts to howl and scream as his fur is burning. The vampire is caught in the tentacles. He takes more damage. I'm going to say he fails this time for flavor, as the darkness disappears and her escape and way out have vanished. And she's on fire, and she's hissing in extreme anger. Very pissed ancient vampire all of a sudden. Flint, you are casting a spell?
Yep, I was going to cast polymorph on the vampire lady. Let's click the button so you can see it. Polymorph.
What is the
She
roll?
needs to make a DC 17 spell save of wisdom. Dang it. That's it. If it fails, it fails.
She feels the magic from you. She's like, what is going on? What is going on? She looks at Yax. So you see she kind of gets out of the fire and kind of steps over here. And that's when Halid, of course, just spears her because she's still in his range and he's getting up there. Actually, before anything, does Tavaga or Morwen do anything? Or do you just...
Yeah, so I saw the person above me attack, right? And then Flint attacked or did something to somebody.
Yep.
I cast something, but nothing seemed to happen.
I'm just trying to figure out who's on my side. So I'm going to attack the person to the north of me. I'm actually going to try to bite her.
Lydia?
I have a 10-foot... Is that... Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I have a 10-foot reach. Is it /R?
I think so, yes. I can roll it for you if you want me to. Do you have multi?
No, I rolled, but that was pretty bad. Got 11.
Roll again, sir.
And so now I'm going to attack Flint with my tail.
Ah.
That's a lot easier to hit.
Plus 10 again.
Yeah.
You can just hit up on the key and then, okay.
Yeah, they got me.
Okay.
They got him.
That's 4d12.
He's a squish.
I'm sorry. 3d8 plus 7. Right?
Ouch. Hey, Luke, do I get an advantage if I'm attacking Zorn while he's impaled on glass?
Yes, you have
18.
all the advantage you could ever want. I do want to know what you're doing, because Halid moved to the next viable target. He hits her, so she's on fire. She's screaming. He stabs her right in the chest.
Ooh.
Flint takes a lot of damage there. So Lydia's like, "What are you doing?" She dodges quickly, and then Flint, you get smashed in the tail right into the table. You know, the diary goes flying off the other side. Tavak, you've just gone by, and
Murdered by flavors.
after all the fighting and bickering they were doing with each other, when the lady gets out of the fire and she's stabbed on Halid's spear, the lady Adorna the vampire sees Yax's body slumped down in a pool of blood. You know, the same blood that's on the end of the halberd that just stabbed her. And she, like, screams, like, she breaks character. She's usually pretty calm and serene. And she screams, she's like, Yax, no! In complete anguish and agony. Like, she just lost someone she actually was very dear to.
As she's doing that, Flint's kind of recovering. He's like, just give it a minute. I'll get him back up. And he starts holding his hand out to cast Animate Dead on him.
I wanted to make him a puppet.
Do you want him to come back as a skeleton zombie? What's the options here? Wait, what'd you say, Tiana?
I said I wanted him as a puppet.
Let
but
me
that's-
see here.
You have your own
Animate
over there flopping
Dead.
around on the glass.
Yeah.
By the way, Tavaga, what do you do before I go to Tiana?
Oh.
Because I want to see what she does for the pet.
So, it's so long. He's just basically animating him as a zombie because he's still got flesh on him.
It's casting time of 1 minute, so that's pretty much what you're doing. But you just got
Mm-hmm.
slapped by a tail. You're just like,
Well, he's like he's trying to show off. He's trying to be extra vicious about all this. Like he's taking the damage. He's just like, no, it's going to be fine because if I get this guy up,
okay,
it's game on.
all right.
This guy's got a lot of armor. He's a fun thing to throw at people.
I would say so. Tavaga, do you do anything? I mean, they are killing the
Right.
vampire right now. Yax is already dead, and you did that. But now they're just trying to kill the vampire. But then you see Morwen in T-Rex form try to bite at Lydia and smash into Flint. So suddenly there's like 3 sides going on here.
Yes, Tavag is very confused, so that's why she moved over for briefly toward Morwen, because she doesn't know why she just killed and attacked her boss.
Yep.
So she's not quite sure what to do yet.
Everybody's dreamed of this moment with their boss, but it rarely ever happens.
Right? But then she wasn't
The next
expecting the
day.
guilt to come afterwards. She dreamed of it, but then all of a sudden, oh no.
Yep.
So she's kind of out of the fray for just a minute, trying to figure out what is going on and why she did that, and why. Yeah.
Totally fair.
Unless she feels
I want
bad,
to.
but-
Why does she have this blade instead of her sensor? She's just very confused.
Yeah, that's perfect. We're going to come back to Tiana probably to get the ending here, or at least enough of a defeat. Tiana, what do you do? Because you said, do I get advantage?
Well.
So, what is
Yeah,
it?
I
It's going
guess
to be gross.
it's kind of flailing around a little bit. I'll just kind of tiptoe my fingers across his chest and I'll cast that.
Flicked wound. So it's just like, Tiana, I recognize those fingers walking on me like a little person anywhere. He's like, do you know I'm going to become a gold dragon when this is all over? What kind of level are you casting at? I just want to see what kind of damage you're going to throw. He's like, and then the hand's just like, he's like, oh, force lightning. You're like the emperor. This is not. Oh.
I think I'm just gonna go overkill like level 3.
Yeah, I'm hoping you do. Okay. That's fine.
23.
He looks at you for a moment, like he knows something. Like he just picks his head up like really hard to look at you as you're kind of over top of him, frying him with the Emperor's purple force lightning or whatever. And he's just and he looks at you in a way like he knows a whole bunch more than what he's saying, as he's just like his teeth are rattling, and then in like smoke coming out of his mouth and his eyes, he falls backwards limp and is dead.
Good, that'll shut him up.
That's perfect. That's just,
Only one remains.
I think Halid has turned and we'll say he puts down the dog. That way we don't have to go into poor animal cruelty. Shoves him into the tentacles, which finish ripping it apart after he hacks into it. The butler's like, "No, my lady!"
Oh, that reminds me. I had to do a concentration check. That was 18 damage, so that's nearly impossible. So it may be gone.
Sounds like it's not.
No, it is. Well, 19 by half is what, 8? No, 9. It rounds up.
Mhm.
So no, that would have been passed. I got it right on the money.
All right. Lydia jumps
So
in.
they are up.
As the butler, Lucas, is caught in the tentacles, Lydia takes whatever magics or talent she has. I'm not going to go rolling. And grabs into him and just one half vampire to a full old school vampire. She just rips him apart. And he splatters everywhere as the dog is being ripped apart in the tentacles too. And it doesn't look good for the Lady Adorna.
And the Alex is starting to twitch.
Yep.
Unlife coming into.
And just so we have fresh brains next time and pick up the intensity, we're going to call the session right there. Because I wasn't sure how this was going to go, but from going for something that was kind of weird and off wall, it got really... I don't know. It got kind of weird and fun. I'm not sure. What did you guys think?
I never expected a T-Rex.
I was expect. I had 50-50. If he hadn't done a T-Rex, Flint was going to do a T-Rex. And then we got people doing AoEs near the bad guy, so I was like, if I can get them into a form with crap hit points, it does so much worse things when you have forced back into your normal form. So I could make sure she died, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, if you would have morphed from the same, look at that. We could be looking at down the barrel of 2 T-Rexers right there. Just bring it out there for reference.
That's the highest CR beast in the game. The T-Rex.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, go big
Yeah.
and go home, right?
Yep. It's the biggest one.
Yep, I think that's good. All right.
At least until the new book.
Oh, we should phone these guys.
Yep. Now, if I would have pulled out full stats, I was kind of skipping a little bit. I want to try just skipping, doing the role play and kind of see how it goes. But I think we threw some numbers too to make it fun. I think it was kind of cool. I tried to do rules light, but just some, right? I don't know if that worked out.
Yeah.
I'm experimenting here. Is all I'm doing.
Well, the combat in D&D is naturally very slow, so
Yep.
doing it the right way, we would still be on the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't give them much a chance if you got the jump on them right, and so yeah, we leave off with 2 of them in their right state of mind, their normal state of mind, what we're used to, and the 4 of them not. As a lot of stuff is happening, like why are we being tortured this way? And the only answer I can give you is because I'm wearing the shirt Teresa got me a long time ago, and it says.
Very accurate.
I'm not being tortured.
I
I
never
have
would
a
have bought
traitor
this
on
shirt
my
for
side.
myself, probably, or a shirt like it. That was all Teresa. So
Yes, you're welcome.
I love it. I try to, as often we play D&D or something, I try to pick out one of the few in my rotation I have to switch it around. But anyway, this was our session 5 on July 21st of 2024. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to cut the recording there, talk to my friends for a second, and we're going to go to bed. All right. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.